Welcome aboard, everybody. We are back here at Van Dixhorn Arena tonight, where your TIU Trojans are set to take on the visiting Wolves of Cardinal Stritch. The Trojans this season, 3-3 so far under the leadership of Coach Greg Miller in his fourth season. At the helm of this Trojan team, they're taking on Cardinal Stritch, who is off to a slow start this year. They are 0-7 on the campaign. Trojans with the first offensive possession. Here's Brandon Lawani spinning inside, no good. Rebound popping up and out off of the fingertips of Deshaun Jackson. Both these teams are going to like to play fast. They've got smaller lineups. A four-guard set for Cardinal Stritch, relying on a pair of talented freshmen to pull in some of the rebounds, as here's a three-point attempt from Jack Cahoon. It's no good. Rebound hauled in by one of those freshmen, Deshaun Jackson. He's trying to go all the way. No good. Rebound hauled in by Xavier Cooper. Cooper, a versatile threat for the Trojans, a two-way player as he flies inside on the putback by Lawani, but a foul occurring before the emphatic finish. So no basket. Lawani in disbelief. That would have been a highlight reel bucket. But the officials not having it. Apparently too much contact. Didn't look like anything too egregious. But nonetheless, they get Lawani for the violation. Now driving on the inside, Gregory Wells. He manages to get his own board. Slings it inside. Great pass by Wells, and the finish by Eris Dooney, the Greek native. 6'9" freshman in the middle for Cardinal Stritch. Here is Cahoon, the versatile sniper for the Trojans. Gets it out to Keontae Thomas. He kicks to Diamond Presniakovis, who comes up a little bit short. Rebound grabbed by Dooney. Now on the outside, driving is Isaac Hill. Hill out to Jackson. Jackson back to Gregory Wells. Trying to get some penetration are the Wolves. Nice stop and pop and finish by Jackson. So that freshman duo of Jackson and Dooney with the first two buckets of the game. As the Trojans are looking to get on the score sheet here, Xavier Cooper driving inside, kicks out to Keontae Thomas, the team's leading scorer, and Thomas stepped on the baseline. So a couple of near misses for the Trojans here early, as that would have been a sure bucket for Cahoon on the cut, had Thomas not been ruled out of bounds. The Trojans looking to get back on the horse here and snap a two-game skid. They're 3-3 in total on the season, as that bucket is poured in by the Serbia native Stefan Popovic. Some international flair to this Cardinal Stritch team. A native of Greece in Dooney, a native of Serbia in Popovic. Here's Lawani working on the perimeter against Dooney. Turnaround in the paint is on the money. So Brandon Lawani gets him on the board. Took a little bit of contact after the play and voicing his displeasure. 24 in gray. Not happy with some of the calls here early. As this one's turned over, here comes Jack Cahoon. He'll slow it up. No numbers for the Trojans, but an open triple for Cooper nonetheless. He drills it. Xavier Cooper, and now he very nearly has a steal. A terrific sequence by Xavier Cooper. And just like that, the Trojans only trail by one. Cooper has had an outstanding start to the season for the Trojans. Their third leading scorer, with 11 points per game. He's also leading the team in rebounding from the guard position, and by a significant margin, no less, hauling in 9 boards per game. So he is near to a triple-double on the season, and he's also second on the team in assists. An incredibly versatile weapon for this TIU team. Here is Wells going to work, tries a fancy pass, almost picked off. Now driving on the inside, Popovic kicks to Jackson. Nifty footwork to keep it in. Now the drive to the corner, and the triple off the side of the backboard on the effort from Popovic. disarray abounding on that possession for Cardinal Stritch. Now the show and go by Cahoon and Presniakovis on the inside. Lawani cleans it up with the bucket. And just like that, Trinity has a 7-0 run, and they are out in front, 7-6. Here is Hill, the fifth-year guard. Jackson driving in. Lofts it up with the right hand, and Lawani muscles down the board. Thomas looking to push the pace here. Recognizes that there wasn't an opportunity to do so and kicks it out to Cooper, who picks up the foul. So the Trojans, this is a team that likes to play fast, as we'll see the first action for the sharpshooter Jaden Thomas, the sophomore from Indiana, checking in. But this is a Trojan team that likes to play fast, but they've done a nice job early recognizing when the looks are there and when they're not. Here is Thomas, Jaden Thomas that is, lofting up a three, another rebound by Lawani, and he'll be called for a travel. So Brandon Lawani, the Trojan star, their second leading scorer and rebounder, catching no breaks with the officials here early on. He's done a nice job retaining his composure, however, especially after that last one. The veteran Lawani is not going to be taken out of the game, that's for sure. Now a pull-up triple by Isaac Hill, and he puts Stritch back out in front. Trinity trying to go quickly. Jaden Thomas with the answer on the inside, and that's something that's so dangerous about Greg Miller's squad. Even off a made basket, they can create a transition opportunity. This team is singular-minded. They like to play fast, as Wells explodes to the bucket and gets the and one. A terrific finish from Gregory Wells. Wells knocks down the free throw. He's off to a solid start here. He leads the Wolves in points per game this season and is looking to build on that tonight. Here is Cooper. Cooper around the screen from Asher Blum. Now Blum taking it to the cup, and it twirls out. Asher Blum getting his first minutes, a solid two-way presence on the inside for the Trojans. Now here's a wide open triple knocked down by Deshaun Jackson. Timeout Trinity. So Cardinal Stritch has not had the season they've been looking for so far. Still looking for their first victory. But they have come to play here on the road at Van Dixhorn tonight. All five of their starters already on the score sheet, being led by Deshaun Jackson, the talented freshman, has 5. This is just a perfect example here of the fact that you can never underestimate any squad, especially here in the CCAC, which is so talented and deep. And it's been an impressive start from the Wolves here tonight. Shooting 60% from the field in the early going, and 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Here's Thomas looking to restore order. Quick give and go, now flips it out to Jaden Thomas. Jaden comes up short, rebound, wrestled free by Dooney. Popovich. Good defense by Jaden Thomas, forcing the tip. And stifling defense now from Thomas. Flipped inside, and the persistence of Thomas and the good hands of Asher Blum forced the turnover. Now here's Keontae. He'll slow it down. Quickly out to Jack Cahoon. Free to fire, but no good here. Cahoon with that quick trigger jumper. Now active hands from Xavier Cooper forcing the turnover. The Trojans clamping down on defense. Now can they get some offensive rhythm? Cahoon pulls up once more, no good. Tough start for the Trojans from long range. Thomas and Cahoon each missing a couple here. They will no doubt continue to shoot it, as will Popovich, though this one is no good. Quick pass inside, stolen away. Cardinal Stritch, they've got numbers. Ball fake and a finish on the inside by Gregory Wells. And Cardinal Stritch is up by 8 here early. The pace of the game has really picked up now. Cooper will slow it down for Trinity. And now his pass off the mark and juggled and out of bounds by Keontae Thomas. So Trinity looking a little bit out of sorts offensively here. A very high-powered offense the Trojans have, and no doubt some of these shots will begin to fall. Perhaps brought on to help with that is number 10 in gray, Colby Cross, a terrific long-range shooter. Here's DeMar Reed, who has also just checked in for the Wolves. Double-teamed, and he gets it on the inside to Darren Ford. Ford a little bit strong. Thomas with the adjustment grabs the board. Thomas looking to go quickly out to the corner. Here's Cross, first long-range attempt. It's no good. The board corralled by Mason Kalu. And now a foul is called on Cross. Good hustle by Colby. But perhaps a little reckless as he's called for the violation. Thomas will check out. And Diamond Presniakovas will come in. Presniakovas, a combustible scorer for the Trojans, averaging better than 10 points per game, despite limited minutes on certain nights. Now the mid-range pull-up J, nothing but air on the attempt from Reed. Reed, another one of these freshmen for the Wolves, who rely on a fair bit of youth to complement their experience. Now the little show and go. Presniakovas going to work on the inside, but it rims out. And Trinity cannot catch a break on the offensive end. Now the double team against Popovich. Good hands from Cross, but it comes back out to the Wolves. Three-pointer is up and no good from Gregory Wells. The Trojans going quickly. Presniakovas slipping, and the violation is going to be called against Cardinal Stritch. The foul, I believe, going against Darren Ford, another of these Cardinal Stritch freshmen. As we'll see Aris Dooney check back in. The Trojans shooting under 27% from the field, and that'll certainly help. The bucket is good, and the foul from Presniakovas. And that was a much-needed score for the Trojans. Presniakovas, a very strong presence on the inside. And he can score a lot of buckets in a hurry. No good on the free throw. The Trojans trail by 6 as we approach the midway point of the period. This pass getting through the outstretched arms of a couple of Trojans. Now Reed will run the offense. Here's Popovich firing up a triple. It's good. So the Wolves have the answer. It is Stefan Popovich from long range. And the Trojans facing their biggest deficit of the afternoon, down by 9. Here's Blum going to work on the inside. Blum lowers the shoulder, luffs it up, and it is good. Asher Blum checking into the score sheet and reduces the Wolf lead to 7. Here's Wells to the outside. Popovich, heat check on the money. 2 threes in a matter of moments from the Serbian native, Stefan Popovich. Now the Trojans work it around the perimeter. Show and go. Here goes Blum. Now Thomas navigating his way inside, and it pops off the rim and out. So many of these Trojan shots have gone halfway down and bounced free of the cylinder. Trinity trailing by 10. Cooper sells out for the steal. Instead, the little push shot by Gregory Wells is on the money. Wells has now got 7 for the Wolves. Spinning on the inside to create space was Thomas, and a terrific finish by Jaden Thomas. He finally gets one to go here. Thomas 2 out of 5 from the field. Hasn't hit a 3 yet, that's his trademark. And now this pass too hot to handle for Mason Kalu. More substitutes for Trinity as they try to find their offensive rhythm. We'll see the first of Nabil Kone, the talented and versatile post presence for the Trojans, as well as their intriguing freshman guard, Stratton Lovorn. Lovorn in his 4th collegiate game tonight after he scored his first 8 points of his Trojan career last time out. Lovorn slings it over to Keontae Thomas. Thomas working against Reed. Reed walling up for the moment. Presniakovis, little hesitation on the outside. Drops it into Kone, and a nice finish by Nabil Kone in traffic to reduce the deficit to single digits. The Wolves putting a lot of trust in DeMar Reed, letting the freshman run the offense for an extended period here. Now Kalu out to Reed, late closeout from Cross, but it'll be enough. Keontae Thomas has it, and he's looking to go fast. Draws the foul, and just rolling off the rim was the attempt. So Keontae Thomas pushes the pace and is rewarded. Keontae is the Trojans' leading scorer, but he's slowed down a little bit in terms of scoring, at least in recent games. And Trinity would love to get him back going. He hits the first, and you love to see that type of aggression from him. That certainly bodes well for the future of the talented sophomore guard. He makes a pair. Monty Lambert getting his first action for the Trojans. Solid all-around player out of New York, hailing from the Bronx. Now a long-range attempt, banking off and in for Darren Ford. I believe that will be ruled a 2-point basket as his feet were planted firmly on the line. And now stepping out is Stratton Lovorn. So Lovorn, one of just a couple of freshmen on this Trojan varsity roster. There's definitely going to be some growing pains with him, but you love to see the talent, the length, and the unique skill set, and that was certainly on full display last time out with 8 quick points. Now Popovich pulling from long range, no good. Popovich finally misses one. Here's Presniakovis working on the inside, gets it to the wide open Keontae Thomas, and it is good from three-point land. A clutch triple from Thomas, and the Trojans have cut the lead to just 5. And now Presniakovis stepping in front for the steal. Presniakovis shielding off Reed with his body and getting the bucket. It's just a 3-point Cardinal Stritch lead. The energy starting to pick up. The Trojans have found their rhythm here. Reed working against Lambert. Poked free, but the Wolves recover. Now Isaac Hill. Bodies hitting the floor as the scramble continues. It's back out to Reed. He barely keeps it in. May have bounced off the official. Now Popovich with the triple. Carrying out back to the Cardinal Stritch. And a foul will be called against the Trojans on the drive by Isaac Hill. A free-form possession from the Wolves. We've seen them get out of control a couple of times here. But they're rewarded with the foul against TIU. Both teams have been called for 4 fouls, so the bonus not a factor yet and may not become one as we inch towards 6 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Here's the mid-range catch-and-shoot attempt from Kalu, no good. Nabil Kone has got it, and he is flying down court in transition. Now Keontae Thomas will settle it down. Thomas calling for the Kone screen. Flips it to the corner and Lovorn. And it is out of bounds. It will stay with the Trojans. Kone heading to the bench as Trinity brings Xavier Cooper back in. Presniakovis, isolation in the post, and he muscles it through for the and one basket. A chance to tie it up for Diamond Presniakovis, his second and one finish of the ball game. The free throw this time settles in. And Diamond Presniakovis has got 7 to lead the way for Trinity. More importantly, the score is tied 27 up. Here's Hill. High post, it's Darren Ford. Ford trying to force feed it on the inside to Hill, but Thomas comes away with it. Lovorn, step back tray, no good. Rebound Thomas, he will pull the trigger quickly, and it is good. Time out by the Wolves, the Trojans. With an impressive stretch of offensive play, they have the lead. So this Trojan team, having lost each of their last 2 contests, probably was not feeling the most confident they felt, especially after they rattled off a 3-1 start to the season. And this matchup against winless Cardinal Stritch sort of looked kind of like a get-right game, perhaps, for the Trojans. But Cardinal Stritch did not have that in mind, as the Trojans were handed a swift reminder of why you can't take any opponent, especially in this conference, for granted. But they have recovered nicely, going on a terrific run to reestablish a 3-point advantage here. And they have certainly settled in on the offensive end. Now shooting 48% from the field. And the star for the Trojans so far has been Diamond Presniakovis. 7 points for him, along with 2 assists and a rebound. 2 and 1 baskets. Huge momentum shifters for Presniakovis in this one. Now here is Wells. The Wolves' leading scorer flips it out. Cooper is able to pounce on the deflection and goes coast to coast for the finish. The Trojans are rolling now. Great work on the defensive end by the two-way standout, Xavier Cooper. Here's Wells. They work it around the perimeter. And DeMar Reed took a shot there. It'll be the 5th team foul, or rather the 6th team foul against Trinity, I believe. Oh, scratch that. That's the 5th. Each squad now has 5. Dooney grabs the inbound pass. Dooney twirling on the inside, but he shuffled with it. And all the momentum residing with the Trojans right now. TIU looking to get back above the 500 mark, both overall and in conference, with a win tonight. Should they manage to claim this one, they would improve to 4-3 overall and 2-1 in CCAC play. Now here's Lambert with the attempt on the inside, but the rebound chance mishandled by Isaac Hill. Relatively small lineup here from the Trojans. Presniakovis forcing his way through again. He muscles home the basket and dishes out the signal afterward. Too small, says Presniakovis. Now a nice move by Hill on the inside, grabs his own board, that was Reed. And now the triple rimming out from Wells. The Trojans going quickly. Xavier Cooper with the jelly and the nice finish. Trinity is firing on all cylinders now. They lead by 9. Isaac Hill going to work, stifling defense by Lambert. Here's Jackson. The freshman leans in, and a little bit of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar-esque influence there with the skyhook finish off glass. Here's Presniakovis now, out to the wide open Cooper. Cooper with the hesitation drive. Out to Keontae Thomas. Lovorn will fire away. It's on the money. The third 3 in the last 2 games for the Trojan freshman, and it gets him on the board tonight. Now a good pass inside by Gregory Wells, finding the post presence Dooney. Trinity going quickly once more. Lambert bullying his way inside. Lovorn, another 3, no good off the back heel. Trying to go all the way is Reed, but it's poked free by Thomas. Thomas on the inside, high off glass, and Presniakovis working hard for the tip-in finish. Trojans by 10. Time out, Cardinal Stritch. Well, for most of this contest, it seemed like the Trojans were just trying to keep their heads above water. They have really found their rhythm now. An offensive onslaught from TIU, and they have now established a commanding 10-point lead. Presniakovis already in double figures, leading the way for the Trojans with 8 points. It's also been a resurgent showing from TIU's leading scorer, Keontae Thomas. He's got 8 points on a pair of triples and a pair of buckets from the charity stripe, as well as 4 boards and a pair of assists. Xavier Cooper also a perfect 3 for 3. He's got 7. And moments ago, the long bomb from Stratton Lovorn. That is great to see. If Trinity can continue to get their 6'6" freshman quality looks, that is a great sign for their team going forward. Cooper's got this rebound quickly ahead to Thomas. And it's good once more from Keontae Thomas. He's got 10 in the first half. Now Thomas with the steal. Battling Wells, Euro step on the inside, and he is hauled down hard. A forceful foul by Isaac Hill. And Thomas springing to his feet. It looks like he's okay. Didn't look like any ill intent from the 5th-year Floridian native, Isaac Hill. As Thomas hits the free throw. Perhaps a bit of frustration, but nothing more. Nothing flagrant, just a hard foul. It looked like he was going for the ball, just managed to swipe down on a fair bit of the body of Keontae Thomas, but great to see Thomas pop up, and he is okay to continue. And in fact, hits a pair of free throws to stay perfect from the floor and from the stripe and give the Trojans a 14-point lead. This Trinity offense has detonated in recent moments. Now a block on the inside by Thomas. Blum grabs the board. It is Cahoon to the corner, and Cooper high, arcing triple, no good. Long rebound grab by Popovic. The Serbian sniper has it. He flips it over to Gregory Wells. Wells stumbling, and it's grabbed by Thomas. Thomas on the inside to Jack Cahoon. Cahoon's effort no good. Good rebound by Lambert, and it crawls up and over the front of the rim. A persistent effort by the Trojans, and another Cardinal Stritch timeout. Boy, this opening half cannot come to an end soon enough for the Wolves of Cardinal Stritch. The Trojans are pouring it on. They now lead it by 16. A Trojan team that trailed by double digits not too long ago has now established a gargantuan advantage. And they are doing it with a balanced attack. It's not been one or two players carrying them. Even on a night where one of their big stars, Brandon Lawani, is in a bit of foul trouble with 2 fouls. He's got just 4 points. The Trojans are still getting it done. Keontae Thomas with 12. As this one's knocked out and will go to the Trojans. So Trinity continuing to apply the pressure. But Thomas with 12. Xavier Cooper with 7 and Diamond Presniakovas with 11. Here's Jaden Thomas. On the give and go to Asher Blum. Outside, fake, and now the triple. Lofted up by Lambert, but no good. And this time, possession will go to the Wolves. The Trojans complementing their offensive effort with terrific defense as well. Just pestering the Wolves on several occasions. They've forced a bunch of turnovers here. 12 turnovers forced to be exact in this opening frame. Under a minute to play, and now miscommunication. At the last moment, Kalu decided to abort mission and turn that three-point attempt into a pass. It does go out off the Trojans. Deshaun Jackson to inbound. Jackson lobs it up, and Cooper will be tabbed for the foul here. Boy, nothing coming easy for Cardinal Stritch. Even that inbound was nearly pilfered by the high-flying Xavier Cooper. That's the 7th foul against the Trojans, and it will put Cardinal Stritch in the bonus for the remaining 53 seconds. So a 1-and-1 for Kalu. It's no good. Blum snags it off the bounce, and Xavier Cooper will slow things down. Cooper working against Gregory Wells. Gets it to the inside, and Blum with the finish. Too easy. The screen and roll working to perfection, as Blum had no one on him and was free to fire on the inside. Now good defense by Asher against Aris Dooney, and the Trojans will be able to hold for the last shot. Already up by 18 is Trinity, looking to polish off this terrific run with one more bucket. Cooper working on Kalu. Quick pick and pop. Cahoon, no good off the back heel. And an absolute heave as time expires by Jackson. But this first half is in the books. What a run from the Trojans to close it out. The Trojans early on against winless Cardinal Stritch, they trailed by as many as 10. And blink and you'd miss it, but Trinity has reduced the deficit and now established a lead of their own. It is 49-31 in favor of Trinity. We'll take a quick break. It is halftime. And make sure to rejoin us for all the second half action. The Trojans up big at Van Dixhorn. Well, folks, we are just a couple of minutes away from the second half getting started here at Van Dixhoorn Arena. And the Trojans have employed a furious comeback here late. They trailed by double digits earlier in the first half. And Cardinal Stritch still led with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. But now the Trojans, with a terrific run of play, have carved out an 18-point lead. They're out in front 49-31 as we embark on the latter 20 minutes of play. Keontae Thomas is leading the way for the Trojans. He had a terrific start to his season, struggled a little bit in the last couple of games as the Trojans have struggled as well, losing each of their last 2 ball games. But Thomas and the Trojans are both back in form. The Trojans with 49 in the first half, and Thomas has got 12 of those on a perfect 3 of 3, including 2 of 2 from long range. He's also hit all of his free throws, all 4 of them. Has 5 boards and 2 dimes in a dominant first half effort. He'll look to build on that, as will Diamond Presniakovis, who's got 11, as well as a pair of dimes and a rebound. It's also been a really solid all-around game from Xavier Cooper, continuing the theme that has characterized his season. It's the ability to dominate in multiple categories. Cooper's got 7 points on a perfect 3 of 3 from the field. He's also got 5 rebounds and 4 helpers on the afternoon so far. Overall, the Trojans shooting better than 50% from the field. And if the end of the opening half is any indicator, this could be a lot of fun to watch as the latter 20 minutes gets underway here momentarily. Trojan coach Greg Miller addressing his troops one final time. No doubt the message is not to get complacent here. If you were to look at this in terms of some of the metrics that other sports have, such as a time of possession or time of holding the advantage, Cardinal Stritch would appear to have dominated. But these Trojans really turned it around in a hurry. And they're going to have to maintain that intensity here. 18 points is a solid advantage, but it's certainly not over yet. We'll see how they come out in the second half. Deshaun Jackson gets to the rim and lays this one in to get Cardinal Stritch started on the right foot. Here's Luani back in the game, playing with 2 fouls. Thomas pass, bounds out to Cahoon. Quick hitter on the inside, Presniakovis gets it to go. Make it 13 for the Diamond tonight. Greg Wells coming off the high screen. Wells to the corner. Quick trigger from Popovich, no good. Popovich nailed a pair of 3-pointers. En route to being the Wolves' leading scorer in this one. And now Keontae Thomas draws the contact on the inside. Nice work from Thomas. He's been terrific at drawing the contact in this one so far. His 3rd pair of foul shots today. This one is on the money, as Thomas and Presniakovis continue to vie for the Trojan scoring lead. This one clangs off the back heel, so they remain knotted up at 13 apiece in that friendly competition. And now this one, loose ball is poked free, and it'll go the way of the Trojans. So Trinity only allowed 4 points in the final 6 minutes to Cardinal Stritch, and a big part of that was just creating chaos. Their active hands on defense. Now Thomas flips this one out to Presniakovis, and he drains the triple. So Presniakovis takes the scoring lead on a feed from his buddy Keontae Thomas. Wells running the offense, flips this one, and it proves to be an ill-advised pass into a trio of gray shirt defenders. A jump ball is forced, and the possession arrow resides with Trinity. So Deshaun Jackson getting to the cup for Cardinal Stritch to get them on the board here in the second half, but ever since then it's been more of the same from the Trojans. Here's Lawani. He has yet to get going, and maybe that'll help. A nice little jump hook off glass and through the cylinder for Brandon Lawani. Lawani's now got 6. Now good defense from Brandon. Trying the acrobatic finish was Jackson, but it's denied. Thomas over to Presniakovis, who catches it on the run. Presniakovis' return feed is no good, but a heady play from Keontae Thomas. Both athleticism and intelligence on display from number 2 as he shovels it off the lower body of Jackson to retain possession. Everything is clicking for the Trojans right now. And this is the type of an effort that they were looking for. Coming off a pair of losses, including their first conference defeat. Brief conference at the scorer's table here. Not sure what was up for debate, but possession staying with the Trojans. Xavier Cooper going to work at the top of the key. Kicks it out. Presniakovis, another one for Diamond Presniakovis. Give him 19. What an evening for Diamond Presniakovis, as Cooper will get called for the reach-in foul. That's the third against Xavier Cooper. Here's Wells. Wells now driving on the inside. Nice right-handed finish by Gregory Wells. Presniakovis. And one more time. His third and one finish of the game. And Diamond Presniakovis goes over the 20-point threshold. He's got 21 and a chance to add more at the charity stripe. Cooper will come to the bench. We will see the first action of the afternoon for the senior guard, Aaron Sufer. A great leader on this team is Sufer. Sort of like another coach on the floor. Great leadership presence and great acumen for the sport. Presniakovis' free throw is good, so he does have 22 as this pass is swatted out of the sky by Lawani. It'll stay with Cardinal Stritch. The inbound lobbed out to Dooney. Toward the inside and Wells. Good ball movement creates the open look for Popovich. Lawani's got it. Keontae Thomas looking to move quickly. Presniakovis has the hot hand, and he's got another 3. 25 for Diamond Presniakovis. He's nearly doubled his season high of 13. Now this attempt is no good. Wells corrals it. Back out to Mason Kalu. Kalu working against Sufer, and he has it stolen away by Lawani to the inside, and Jack Cahoon is there trailing for the layup. Time out. Cardinal Stritch, the Trojans are pouring it on. It is an onslaught from the home team, 68-35. TIU is on a mission tonight. Well, several standout performances on this afternoon, but no doubt foremost among them has been the stellar effort of Diamond Resniakovis, as he has posted a career night. He's got 25 points on 10 of 14 shooting, has drained 3 triples, all of them in the second half. And he's also got a remarkable 3 and 1 finishes. Not sure how advanced our stats and information department is over here at Trinity, but boy, I would be curious to know how often that feat has been replicated. Doing it at all 3 levels. A trio of 3-pointers and a trio of and 1 finishes. What a night from number 23 in the Trojan Gray. Kalu with the inbound. And Kalu with it, the Trojans showing no mercy here. Thomas picking up beyond half court. No disrespect toward Cardinal Stritch. They showed what they could do early, and the record does not tell you about the tenacity of this team. The Trojans wary of that, continuing to give it their all right now. Quick feed on the inside. It comes out to Popovich, free to fire from long range. As the shot clock expiring, it's no good. Presniakovis dishes inside. Sufer's layup no good. Now Popovich streaking down the baseline. He's got to finish. Trying to cut into that Trinity advantage. Lawani pushes it up, no good. Grabbed by Kalu. Kalu lofts it up to the corner. Popovich, little pump fake, no good. And Lawani draws the foul. Lawani was battling for that board. And he eventually does manage to corral it. We'll see Brandon Lawani bring it up here for the Trojans. Very few players on this Trinity team would not be comfortable handling the ball in that sort of a capacity. Even their bigs like Lawani, and there's Presniakovis again, no good this time. Jack Cahoon has the board. Cahoon turn around off the window and on the money. So Jack Cahoon getting things going here in the second half, as if the Trojans needed another offensive weapon. Will be a side out for the Wolves. But Cahoon was dormant in the first half, 0 for 5 from the field. And he has got things going of late, hitting both of his attempts here in the second half. Here is Wells. Wells working against Thomas, out to the corner. Popovich will jack up another one, and this one is good. So Popovich demonstrating his prowess from deep. Here's Sufer. Flips it out to Cahoon with the show and go. Sufer again with the ball fake. Now the 3 launched up by Cahoon, and it's his first miss of the second half. And a travel will go against Monty Mabry. The freshman has just checked in and gets slapped with the violation. Dooney also will check out in favor of Darren Ford. Very young lineup out there for Cardinal Stritch. Here's Thomas driving baseline off the bottom of the cylinder. Nifty move by Gregory Wells as he's going to try to go all the way up and over goes Jaden Thomas. Oh, boy, he took a forceful spill there and is clutching at his left wrist, I believe. A dangerous play there as Thomas is in a lot of pain. Just an unfortunate scene here at Van Dixhorn. Correction, it does look like that right wrist that he's grabbing, getting checked out right now. But just the last thing you want to see, especially with the 30-point lead, but really at any point. Jaden Thomas, such a terrific player for these Trojans. Brings a lot to the table in that swingman role. He can start, he can come off the bench. Very athletic and an absolute sniper from downtown. And great hustle on the play by Thomas, but his entire body soaring up and over the back of Wells, and looked like most of his weight landed on top of that right wrist. And he's able to get to his feet. That's good to see. Thomas already has that right wrist taped up. Not sure if that's injury related or just to aid his shooting form or something of that ilk. But great to see Thomas rise to his feet as he will gingerly stride off the court. We will pray for good news for the Trojan sharpshooter as he's able to head off, fortunately under his own power, and hopefully get some care and hopefully a fortunate diagnosis for that wrist. Either way, we are back in action here. Popovich kicks it out to Wells, who pulls up from long range. No good. Tip in by the freshman Mabry. And no doubt that's something that will frustrate Coach Miller a little bit, even with the big lead. Got to box out there. Here's Sufer, wide open for three. No good. Mabry's got the board. Mabry trying to push the pace, working against Colby Cross. Rebound comes out to Popovich. He's got another open tray. It's no good. This time Thomas snares the board. Up ahead to Asher Blum. Slings it over to Cahoon. And Jack Cahoon, well, he's not had his three-point stroke today. He's 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. He has been nice in close quarters. And he has got his third short-range bucket. Now Mabry. Got nothing but the backboard there on the errant attempt. Thomas flips it over to Cross. Colby Cross is on the money. Truly remarkable what Colby brings to the table for these Trojans in limited minutes. In sporadic opportunities, he always provides a consistent touch from long range. Now an offensive foul is going to go against Darren Ford. Asher Blum taking the contact. And that really does show the culture that Coach Miller has installed in these Trojans, as Cahoon and Keontae Thomas will head to the bench for a rest. The talented freshmen Lovorn and Lambert checking in. But Blum taking the contact even with the massive lead here. These Trojans are just a bunch of fighters and scrappers, and they will play hard until the final horn. Kalu with it, working against Sufer. To the inside, and a blown assignment there results in the bucket for Wells. So the Trojans have a couple of things to tighten up despite the 30-point advantage here. Now Colby Cross off the dribble, tip in by Asher Blum. It's been a nice night for Asher, as he has now got 6 points for TIU. Good pass here, and Kalu has the finish. So Trinity's defense lacking a little bit here in recent minutes, not at its swarming best as they try to regain their footing in wake of the injury to Jaden Thomas. Now nifty work in the close confines of the paint here. And Lambert will go to the line to shoot two. It's been quite the journey for Monte Lambert. A JUCO transfer all the way from the Bronx. And he's a key contributor to this Trojan squad. Brings a veteran presence, somebody who can heat up in a hurry offensively and can provide good value at both sides of the floor. Here is Gregory Wells, the junior for the Wolves. Out to the freshman, Mabry. Popovich was in that deep pocket, wanted to pull another tray, but he passed it up. Now Mabry fires no good. Blum has got it, and Asher Blum will now navigate his way down court. Here's Lovorn. The feed to Blum. Great connection between the freshman and the senior, Lovorn and Blum. Power dribble on the inside by Tevin Dillon, but the attempt comes up short, and Colby Cross's pass to Blum is denied. Good defense by Gregory Wells. So Jaden Thomas is back on the bench with his Trojan teammates. He is unlikely to return in any capacity tonight. He does have an ice pack on that wrist now. Here's a three-pointer, no good, from Braden Betzner, another of the Trinity freshmen. As this one will stay with Cardinal Stritch off the tip from Asher Blum. Thomas evidently still in some pain on the bench, clutching at his shoulder and wrist area. And no doubt tough for him to have to come out in this spot. And you would just hope that we get good news going forward and it does not turn into a long-term issue for the Trinity sharpshooter. Good hustle here off the air ball. Mason Kalu nearly was able to snare it in time, but he was not able to do so. Asher Blum will check out as Nabil Kone comes in. Kone, the native of Mali, replacing Blum, who's had a nice evening. He's got 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting. Lambert directing traffic as he will scuttle his way inside. But an offensive foul is going to be called, and I really didn't see much there. It was minimal contact, if any. So a tough break going against Monty Lambert. Nonetheless, Cardinal Stritch needs all the breaks they can get as the Trojans have opened up a monstrous advantage at 79-46 in favor of TIU with under 10 minutes remaining in the second half. The Trojans trailed in this game by as much as 10 points and trailed as late as 5:55 remaining in the first half. So it's been a remarkable effort, and what a finish on the inside. My goodness. Mason Kalu with some wizardry around the bucket. That was an outstanding finish and a highlight born out of the desperation for Stritch. Monty Lambert reining in a triple for the Trojans to put them above the 80-point threshold. Gregory Wells was nearly picked off, and there was nothing but vacant floorboards ahead of Stratton Lovorn if he was able to corral that. But nonetheless, good hands from Lovorn. You've got to like what you've seen from Stratton. He has a 3-point bucket as well as a rebound and an assist in his time on the floor tonight. And with his length, his sharp shooting ability, and his athleticism, he could be a key contributor for the Trojans for years to come. You can already see flashes of his brilliance on display whenever he takes the court. Now Colby Cross comes out of the pack with this one. Cross to Lovorn. Lovorn firing up a three, and no good. Mayberry has got it. Some of these teams, or some of these young players on these teams getting some nice opportunity here as Kone hauls in the board off the miss by Dooney. Colby Cross with a nice move. Kicks it out to Lovorn, who tries the drive. Lambert has a little more success, but he is blocked. Kone wandering inside, but no good. Bodies continually hitting the ground. Great effort from both these squads still as Popovich nails the three. Stefan Popovich, the Serbian native, has now got 16. He's hit 4 of his 10 three-point attempts for Cardinal Stritch. Cardinal Stritch back in possession here. The Trojans looking to nurse this one to the finish line while also getting some quality experience for some of their players that don't always get the opportunity to get out there. A foul called here on the inside. The Trojans were in good position defensively, but the violation called. I believe they're going to get Lambert for a reach. But this Trinity team has so many dynamic options that there's talented players that don't play as much as perhaps they would on some other clubs. Lambert's going to get called for a hold there, so a tough span for Monty Lambert. And Cardinal Stritch is now in the bonus. So 1-1 for Aris Dooney. Comes up short, but Dooney will grab his own rebound. And the triple is on the money from Monty Mayberry. Boy, this freshman, the Minnesota native, is showing us something tonight. A lot of confidence from Mayberry. And these minutes are important as there's a nice dish from Lambert, showing off his veteran mindset, unperturbed by the fouls, gets it to Kone. But these minutes are important for these squads early in the season. As you see Wells get the bucket. These teams, especially Cardinal Stritch, who just had a rocky start, trying to establish their identity while also figuring out who is going to step up and fill some of the voids that they've had in production. And Monty Mayberry is certainly showing himself a capable option. He's got 5 points, and he's certainly got a little bit of that Iversonian mindset. He's going to play with extreme confidence, get to the bucket, and go get you some points on the board. Timeout here by the Trojans. Coach Miller would like to talk it over. Of course, the challenge as the seconds slothfully roll off of the clock. In a blowout game like this, the challenge is just to maintain your focus and determination. And especially on a night where, with the game likely in hand, we saw the injury to Jaden Thomas, I think that could affect some of the Trojan players' mindsets. You become a little bit scared of getting a serious injury, which of course we hope that Thomas' injury is not serious. We'll await a diagnosis on that. But it's definitely something that can force players to play a little bit too timid, be a little bit too laid back, and force a small dose of complacency, which sometimes can be all that it takes. So it will be Lovorn. It'll be Cross. It'll be Kone. It'll be Lambert. And it is Braden Benser out there for the Trojans. Their pair of freshmen getting some minutes here. Lovorn throws this one away. Tevin Dillon has got it. Dillon working against Lambert, almost lost it. Nice defense by Monty Lambert, who wanted a call there. Now to the inside, and Lovorn will get flagged for the contact on Dooney. So this game's starting to take on a little bit of a physical nature here of late, and that's something that the Trojans also probably would not be in support of if you ask them. First free throw is no good from Dooney. Of course, the number one priority for Coach Miller is to get everyone out of this ball game healthy and safe. But the number two priority is to get some players some really positive experience at the college level. Here is Lovorn. No good. Kone hauls it in, and it'll stay with Trinity as it was knocked out of the hands of Nabil Kone. So some of the youth for the Trojans coming into play here. That was a nice feed from Betzner to his fellow freshman Lovorn. Lovorn didn't convert there. And then the rebound from Kone, the sophomore for the Trojans. Now whirling on the inside is Betzner. And the freshman showcasing his skill set there. A brilliant bucket to restore the 30-point Trojan lead. Good moves, but no finish from DeMar Reed. Betzner's got it. Betzner getting a chance to run the point here. Flips it out to Sufer. Sufer shuffled with it. So big time opportunities for Braden Betzner and Stratton Lovorn. Also good to see Sufer getting some opportunity out there tonight. A very competent player for these Trojans. This one no good. Nice defense on the inside against Dooney. It's poked away from Kone. Good recovery effort by Kone to force the miss. But Tevin Dillon is right there for the putback finish. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Here's Betzner. Betzner will pull up from three off the front rim and out. Here's Cardinal Stritch leading scorer Popovich, kicks it out wide, and it crashes off the rim. No good on the attempt from Mayberry, and now you've got a Wolf down on the floor. That's Aris Dooney in some pain, lying flat on his back. Not sure what happened there. It's definitely responsive. Seems to be okay as he will hop up to his feet. That's good to see. You hate to see players getting banged up in a context like this. We already saw Jaden Thomas go down with a wrist injury. He will not return tonight. And now Dooney is able to rise to his feet and seems like he's going to be okay. Having some words with the coaching staff now. But great to see the post presence from Greece. Aris Dooney able to walk up and take a seat on the bench, even flash a smile. That's great to see. Here's Reed, gets it out to Mayberry. Trying to play, catch, good hustle by Lovorn. Up ahead to Kone, but it's going to stay with Cardinal Stritch. Boy, what a highlight that would have been if the behind-the-back fling from Stratton Lovorn had led to a bucket. Great hustle by Kone, but it ends up going off of his shin. Here's Reed, has it wrestled free by Lambert, and Lambert is fouled hard by Reed. A dangerous play there. Monty Lambert got tied up, and some frustration here from Lambert, and understandably so, as that is a dangerous play. Definitely a teaching moment for the freshman Reed. Perhaps some frustration coming across there. Didn't even attempt to make a play on the ball, as the first free throw from Lambert is no good. But that's such a dangerous play when you tie up the arms of a player and grab them like that once they've left the air, or left the ground and taken to the air. As Lambert hits the second, the Trojans will keep possession on the violation. But that's such a dangerous play, and anybody who's played basketball and is playing basketball at this level needs to know that. Especially once you tie up the arms, if that player falls, they have no way to catch themselves. So Reed's frustration resulting in a dangerous play, but fortunately Lambert is all right, and he hits one of two as the Trojans keep possession. Lovorn lost it out of bounds. So a bit of a tense final minutes here. The outcome of the game is not in question. The Trojans will walk away with this victory to snap their two-game losing skid. But it's taken on a bit of a chippy nature, and you're just trying to get everybody out of this one safely, as now Reed is fouled and lands awkwardly on his way to the bucket. Nothing malicious there, just an awkward landing from DeMar Reed. Reed will have a chance to get on the score sheet with his first bucket tonight. And he's got it. It's definitely been a frustrating afternoon for Reed, as he has not converted a field goal despite having some significant opportunity to run the offense as this game has gotten out of reach. He hits them both from the line, however. Both these teams looking to see a spark from their younger players tonight, and Reed hasn't delivered that so far. Now Lambert rising up. He came in there with a purpose, nearly jammed it down, but it does bounce in. And Monty Lambert very nearly had an unbelievable highlight. Still gets the 2 points. Here's a nice finish by Tevin Dillon. But you have to love that from the veteran Lambert. A little bit frustrated, no doubt. But he says, I'm going to take those emotions out on the court and put you on a poster. He rose up with a purpose. Did Lambert. Didn't quite cram it home on the initial attempt, but it bounded off the right side of the rim and went in. Meanwhile, an offensive foul against Trinity, 3:33 remaining, as we embark on the home stretch of what will no doubt be a Trojan victory. Here's Reed, flips it out to Popovich. Popovich gets his own board and scoops it up and in. So Popovich will add to his team-leading total. That make it 18 for Stefan Popovich. Now the freshman Betzner, what a finish! And Betzner is putting together quite the highlight tape tonight. Nice feed inside, and now Reed will counter with a highlight of his own as he jams that one down. So Reed starting to feel it in the last couple minutes. Now Lovorn going to the cup with a purpose, but he lost it out of bounds. The contact will not be called. It seemed like there was some there, but Lovorn a little bit out of control. Timeout here in the closing stages of this one. And it's been exciting getting to see some of the youngsters on both sides take center stage as this one winds down. The electric dunk moments ago from DeMar Reed. But we have seen a couple of really impressive finishes from Braden Betzner. We have not seen much of the skilled guard from Bunker Hill, Indiana. Just 6 foot tall, 165, but he plays bigger than that. And he's been showing off his skill set tonight. There's a reason he's on this Trojan varsity roster. And he will be at the very least a very solid depth piece for TIU, if not more, as he continues to get things going in the 2022 campaign. Here's Reed firing up a three. He gets it to go. So DeMar Reed has detonated in recent moments. He's got 7 points in a matter of seconds, really. Now probing the inside is Christian Cranbull, another TIU freshman, getting his first action tonight. Now Cranbull on the inside, straightened up, but he'll have another attempt, and it's kept in. Good hustle after the defensive play by Darren Ford. Now the kick out to Maybury. Maybury flings it outward to Jackson. Jackson with the jump stop. And no good. Kone has got his paws on it. Kone working against Jackson. Kone with the crossover. Now tries to shove it outside to Aaron Sufer, but he's unable to complete the pass. Trojans up big here. 91-69, TIU out in front. The trio of Trojan freshmen on this varsity roster is out there. Christian Cranbull joining Braden Betzner and Stratton Lovorn. Here's Lovorn with a three. Nabil Kone with the rebound, and it is good on the second chance attempt. Nabil Kone showing what he can do for the Trojans. Here's DeMar Reed. He's been hot. Reed kicks it out. Long range effort, hit nothing from Tevin Dillon. Betzner out to Sufer, steps into a three, no good. Here goes Dillon, working against the freshman Cranbull. Now more freshman on freshman action. Betzner getting the stop against Maybury, but Maybury a second attempt. Free throw line, Jay is on the money. And in all likelihood, the final offensive possession for the Trojans. Sufer gets it over to Lovorn, now rising and firing on the three was Betzner, but it's no good. Rebound, Deshaun Jackson. He will go all the way, drawing the contact on a nifty move. Foul going against Kone. But this one is all but in the history books. Diamond Presniakovis will check in one more time. It's been a terrific night for Diamond, and he will get to end this game on the floor. It appears a career night for Diamond Presniakovis. He's got a smile on his face as he will retreat to the offensive end. And this one is all but over. Betzner will flip it across the midcourt stripe as time expires. This one is signed, sealed, and delivered. The Trojans get it done at Van Dixhorn tonight. So TIU found themselves down by a significant margin early in this contest, but they exploded out of that hole and find themselves winners tonight by a 20-point margin. Another offensive outburst from TIU. 93-73 is the final. A career evening for Diamond Presniakovis. He drops 25 points on 10 of 15 from the field. Keontae Thomas also with a terrific effort, 13 for him. And Xavier Cooper with a great all-around game, 7 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. So it is all over from Van Dixhorn tonight. The Trojans snap a 2-game skid and get the victory behind the Herculean effort from Presniakovis. This is Ethan Oskroba saying so long, thanks for hanging with us,